Hello. I am Daddy.
Something for you when you got a sec.
Did you need my help with something?
That was real impressive flying, kid. You earned your wings today.
Hello.
Let's just fucking do my part. A lot of heroes on the stage. Speaking of which, here comes one now.
Good work taking out those pirates, Renegade.
Great job.
Do you have anything to report? I believe congratulations are in order. With this decisive blow, the end of the Crimson Fleet is all but assured. But as much as I'd like to begin this celebration, technically we're still in the process of wrapping up the operation. On that note, Lieutenant, what do you have for me?
Reports are coming in right now, Commander. Delgado has been taken into custody and will be transferred to our brig. Unfortunately, Shinya Voss was killed by his chest bomb. Nothing left to be gained there, I'm afraid. Also, we've transferred personnel to the Key to secure the location until the United Colonies decides what they want to do with the station.
And what about Neva Mora?
According to our reports, Neva led the strike force that attacked the Vigilance. Unfortunately, that was the last we saw of her. It looks like she managed to escape. We don't know her current whereabouts, but I have our operations team looking into it.
That's fine. Overall, excellent news, Lieutenant. I have to admit, for the first time in 7 years, I don't know what to say. How about you? I know that was difficult. You hanging in there? If you would kindly continue. I certainly would have preferred to have reached a resolution regarding her whereabouts. After all, she was the fleet's second in command.
Just watch your back. I'm fairly certain she's not going to simply forget what you've done to the Crimson Fleet.
Let's not ruin the moment, Gillian. I'm sure our friend here is feeling quite pleased. Am I correct? You have no reason to feel guilty about anything.
No matter how close you were to the fleet, you have to remember that they're terrible people that did terrible things, and don't deserve your guilt.
I've twisted arms and cashed in some favors at Mast. I wanted to make sure you got a share of the money you recovered from the legacy. Call it a reward, a token of appreciation, whatever the hell you want. But you've absolutely earned every credit. Don't thank me yet. If it had been completely up to me, you'd get a lot more than they're giving you.
Now that you're rich and famous, maybe you'll still remember us little people, huh?
Decorum, Lieutenant? Damn, I'm going to be really sorry to see you go. You've really become an important part of our team. It won't be the same around here without you.
Although, if you feel like staying aboard, I'm sure I could give you access to the SysDef mission board. That is, if you can stand spending another minute with us on Vigilance.
Excellent. I'm happy we haven't somehow frightened you away. Anyway, enough talk. You've earned a break, and I'm sure you wish to celebrate. Here's your promised reward. And wherever you might find yourself, my best wishes travel with you.
Now that the fleet's done, I wonder where Mass will send the Vigilance next. There's a lot of bad apples out there.
That's something with your name on it, boss.
Hello again.
contraband. And complete. Enjoy your stay in New England.
I found something for you.
By the way, Captain, Sergeant Yumi was looking for you. Found what you got working. Keep it moving.
You have another story for me? You talk and get paid, I spread the news. It's a classic win-win. You're... What a sordid mess. You've got some other sources we've been interviewing, but I'd love to get your take on the record. So there was a mercenary company, the First, and they were involved in taking farmlands from Freestar Collective families. Extortion, death threats, murder, all of it. Is that right? You kidding? You're the star of this episode from what I heard. So all of that? Terrible. But Ron Hope, the Ron Hope, was involved with it at the highest level. All of that suffering was a plot to save Hope Tech from going under using the side effects of a fertilizer he developed. Let me be blunt. The other sources say you killed Ron Hope. Is that correct? I can't imagine him getting away with that. After all of that, the future of Hope Tech is an open question. Their stock has already taken a beating. Not sure if it's going to go into freefall. Any comment? For what it's worth, I'm rooting for them too. Thanks. If you listen to the news, you'll definitely hear this. And, maybe try not to ice any more CEOs. Just a thought. You have that look in your eye. Really? To say you have my undivided attention is an understatement. A lot of people were there. The accounts we've got were chaotic. What was your role in that? Sounds like maybe you're being modest. Security isn't exactly trained for that scenario. But all right. The whole city is still on edge over the attack. We were fortunate, damn fortunate, that casualties were so low. What was it like in the thick of things? I could take a breather too. That makes what you did even more, well, amazing. It sounds like New Atlantis, heck, the whole UC, owes you a great debt. Any closing comments? I already have a good story here. Searching the old memory banks, huh? That's a mouthful. A thankful you guys are around mouthful. Hey, Constellation? From all of us that live here, thanks. We use the word hero a lot in news, but you really are one. If you have a news story for me, I'm very happy to pay your fee. I already interviewed an ex-pirate about the robbery, but she was as reliable as good coffee around here. So you were there when it went down? What were you doing there? Well then, let's continue, Mr. Not Really Relevant. Tell me about this Captain Petrov. I've heard he's a bit of an eccentric. What was your impression of him? With bona fides like that, he should run for office. No one seems to know exactly what was stolen, but everyone agrees it was valuable. Care to shed some light on it? Artifact, you say? I've been hearing whispers about those lately. Last question. About, and I'm quoting, a zoo gone wild. The other source swore up and down that alien creatures got out of their cages and went on a rampage. Please, please, please tell me she was telling the truth. It's got to be some Aurora-induced hallucination. You mean besides the ratings? I just want to live in a galaxy where eccentric millionaires have out-of-control zoos. But, just give it to me straight. Zoo. Fact or fiction? I knew it was too good to be true. Oh well. This is just a plain old good story. Check the newsfeed for it later. And here's your payment. My source is back. Here to report anything else? Of course you are. Why wouldn't you be? I swear you're either a trouble magnet or something. So, SysDef finally, and against all odds, really triumphed against the Crimson Fleet. In their own backyard, no less. How were you involved? Directly with him? I got that right? Wow. Okay. So, the Vigilants went toe-to-toe with everything the Crimson Fleet could throw at them. And somehow, almost miraculously, they captured the key. The key itself. I've confirmed that with many sources. Anything to add? Oh, so the standard happy to be part of the team boilerplate. I can type that quote in my sleep. You have to feel good about how everything turned out. Commander Ikande is being hailed a hero. And SysDef's popularity is at an all-time high. Your thoughts? That's a common refrain. He was respected before this, but now? And that's all I need. You really do lead an extraordinary life. And as a, well, possibly embarrassing personal note, thank God for you. When you first walked into my office, I had no idea you would be at the center of so much. And I get the feeling you're not sharing everything. I get that. Really, I do. I talked with the editor, and he authorized a special bonus for someone who's worked with us so long. And maybe one day, years from now, you can fill me in on the stories you didn't want broadcast. Take care, Constellation. Your stories are a big hit. You lead well, an amazing life. I'm working on an investigative piece about some of the businesses in the well right now. Trying to get a handle on how things are in that part of the city. I'm not sure the story will get off the ground, though. I asked the higher-ups if I could go down there for some interviews, but they said it's too dangerous. They'd probably be all for it if David asked. Would you really? I'd owe you big time if you did. You've been a huge help on my other stories. I'm sure you'd do great. Great. I had 3 interviewees in mind. Teresa Mason, the owner of Kay's house, Henrik Zoran at Apex Electronics, and Nurse O'Shea from the Med Bay. You don't need to ask too many tough questions. I just want to read on how their businesses are doing, and how things are in the well. I really can't thank you enough.
I'm not supposed to talk to strangers.
Saw your ship come in. Nice ride.
Working at the Office of Interstellar Affairs, honestly, a dream job.
What if we took the kids to your brother's place?
But who are we kidding? Oh man, I'm so behind on those reports. I'm gonna drink nothing but Terra Brew and pull all my dish from. Good for you. You saw what happened with the hot one. Do you think we need more regulation in the authorities?
We did it! We have all the artifacts.
Sam, I do not know if you
Dip your ear
recall
for a
my
moment?
suggestion, but if
It'll be a shame to pack up all the modifications to the eye for finding the artifacts. But she's earned a break. Gilded our fortunes for sure.
Okay. Uh-huh, sure. I got it. Thanks again.
I'm just an old blade in the dark trying to make good. I'll be taking up the chair when everyone's gone in the Unity. Set Constellation's course for another new beginning. Not my first time at the helm for a crew, but going to take it slow. Don't know about that. Intend to keep teaching folks how to play the Troublemaker's game. No use being an explorer if you aren't a little dangerous. Well, tipped your ear long enough. I'll be smiling as you walk through Eternity's gate. Give the next universe something to talk about, yeah?
our journey seems to
Gave
be
up my
coming to an
room in
end.
the lodge so Andreja had a place to call her own. Everyone needs space to let their thoughts run solo. Been poring over the
Always knew we could pull this off.
Coming up on the end of a long ride here. We got all the artifacts. You ready for what comes next? Might not see each other on the other side. Yeah, so am I. Hey, listen, you're probably wondering about Cora. I played it over in my head 1,000 times, and I've made up my mind. She's coming with. I know what everyone's gonna say, but even if I told her no, she'd find some way on board that ship. And if we stayed behind, we'd both regret it. This is kind of fun. Well, kinda. I know. I know. Part of me thinks I should have the both of us stay behind. But if we did that, it'd eat us up inside. And the chance of a lifetime, gone. I know people might wonder what kind of father I am for bringing her along, but would you keep your kid from a shot at eternity? Cora's earned this. So I hope you can understand why I want it for her. No matter the risks.
Hey, Dad.
When the time's
Will
right,
you read to
I'd
me
appreciate a
tonight
chat.
before bed? And will you do funny voices for the characters?
Hey, Sam.
Like
what do you
you
think
used
you're
to
doing
when I was
just
little?
hanging around here?
Did you
Don't
know,
you're
Walter
wasting
is one
Walter's
of the
hard-earned
richest
credits?
people in the universe?
I know.
You
Pretty
need
nice
something?
to take a load off for a bit, huh? Talk to me, my dear friend. Finally, these new universes won't know what hit them. Forget about the Starborn and the Hunter. It's Barrett and company from here on out. I suppose we can do that. Classic. Look, if this is a "are we doing this or not" talk, then stop right there. We're doing this. The multiverse waits for no one. Yeah, that's why I said it first. See you on the other side. Hey, when you're not busy, let's chat.
100 years ago. He wrote about this experiment with some zero fights that he found on 10 different planets. It's amazing.
So,
He made a brand new
the
kind of
unity
plant.
awaits.
Like he did it all
I'm not
himself.
as afraid as I thought I would be.
So wow.
Stepping away
Like
from the world you
Marvin or
know
Donnie or something. I'll
can
put
lead
the
to a
book back
better
when I'm
place.
done. Don't worry.
I do not know if I would say the same. More that I accept it. I'm ready. Do you think we will see each other after the unity? Will we even recognize each other if we do? I do too. But the emissary makes me doubtful. They are both the person we lost and someone else entirely. If we do not see each other again, then this is goodbye. I am proud that I was present for this journey. Can we speak for a moment?
I'm up for a little
Your
adventure.
investigation with the Freestar Rangers has come to an end. Are you satisfied with the results? Was there more? Yes, but not everyone walked away, did they? This Ron Hope, supposedly a man of the people, was more concerned with profit than lives. He was not the first, and certainly will not be the last. I do not believe that for a moment, and I am sure you do not either. At least he will no longer be able to prey on others. I am unsure that death was preferable to justice. But at least the situation is over, and there is no question who was to blame. No, he did not. A very poor decision on his part. Perhaps a lesson to be learned by others who would break the law. At least while you serve as ranger. I think less of the badge and more of the person wearing it. But you should be proud of your accomplishments. Shall we find some other adventure to occupy us now? Indeed, I did. I suppose now you can add climbing the corporate ladder to your list of accomplishments. I must ask, though, are you not at all concerned with where future neuroamp research might lead?
What was it like?
Terrible. Terrible. It was terrible. You stay away from that stuff, Cora. Trust me. It's the worst.
That seems like quite a pessimistic outlook. Yes, but does that make it morally acceptable to be the one driving its development? Nothing is so immutable. That seems a poor excuse. And what happens when Ryujin falls prey to the same tactics it has employed and loses control of this technology? So you just walk away and let someone else worry about it. I see. I appreciate your explanation, but I find your decision here to be lacking. I expected more, I think. Still, thank you for talking it over.
I hope Cora
If
doesn't
you
get too
have the
much
time,
underfoot.
I wish to speak to you.
Hey, Dad.
In the end,
Wanna
you
hear a
chose the
poem I wrote?
UC over the Crimson
It's called
Fleet.
a haiku.
Do you believe
just
that
read
was
about
the right choice?
A haiku, huh? Well, sounds exciting. Let's hear it.
Okay. It's called space. Space is cold and dark. Starships fly there like comets, carrying us home.
It's not bad. Hey, will you write it down so I can carry a copy with me?
I'll copy down too. You know
I
how
wondered
you
if that
lose
might be
things.
the case.
I still don't know how you lost that
I
picture of
certainly
people's
dislike the
equality
idea
and
of aiding the United Colonies. Did getting that close to Delgado and the fleet make it difficult at all? It can be harder to act against someone once you get to know them. Nor do I think you should be, but in this case, I believe you made the right call. They were pirates, after all. It would be foolish to think, though, that we have seen the last of the Crimson Fleet. We may have eliminated the leadership, but there are many more pirates out there. That is true. Life has not suddenly been made easier for everyone, despite our recent victory. For now, you should enjoy your hard-earned victory. You have done a service for all of the settled systems. It is a relief to know that the terramorphs are being dealt with. But are you sure this Asilis creature is the right way to do it?
But I'd be a lot better if...
Let me guess, you'd be a lot better if you had a bigger book allowance.
You know me so well, Dad. So...
Where terramorphs are concerned, I do not believe there is a way to remove risk from the equation. Perhaps an experimental microbe has its own risks, but what of the risks to who knows how many human lives until the Asilis can do its job? It is too soon to know, and at least something is being done. Any effort is better than none. And I must say, I find it curious that you would agree keeping the Lazarus plant around is a good idea. It seems an additional, unnecessary risk. But you could have changed their minds. They would have listened to you. At least the Freestar Collective will also know of its existence. Otherwise, I worry it would be too tempting for the UC to use as a weapon. Well, it is good to know that this particular threat is behind us, and you have done a service to all who live in the settled systems.
Hey, good to see you.
Still need to lift another set today. Been dragging.
This is amazing! The unity, the multiverse, this is everything, and more, literally.